maybe there you guys can hear me. See if we can maybe fade that music down just a smidge. That way you guys can hear me. And maybe you can hear a little bit of music. I'm not entirely sure. I hope it's coming through. And we're going to get it switched over really quickly to the live scene. There's no stinger transition there, so you just see me. There we go. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay. There's some music in here. Alright, so the idea is this is not going to be retro room content generally speaking. The idea was I wanted to do a live stream on Mekanos cards because I have a video coming out very soon on the channel which is going to be teaching some awesome sleights. And I found out when I was talking to people that were interested in learning that most of them didn't know how to shuffle a pack of cards. Now, to be very clear, shuffling a pack of cards potentially could go into its own video, but each of the videos that are going up on the Mekanos Cards channel are remarkably they're very time consuming. It's very difficult to make them. So the idea was that I would do a quick stream in the same vein, and we would be able to I'd be able to kind of show you guys a couple of shuffles, how to do the shuffles, and then that way when I put up the next video, this would be there so you could refer back to it, and it's a lot easier for me to make and produce. So that's the idea. Now, if anybody does hop in, I don't know how, like I said, this is on the Retro Room channel because Mekanos Cards can't stream. I didn't know, I didn't remember, I guess, that when you stream, you have a 24-hour lockout period. So when I started getting things ready, I found out that I was going to be locked out of the account for 24 hours so that they could set up my streaming. And today's Sunday, so I couldn't really do it, you know, tomorrow's Monday, I couldn't really do it then. So that's why we're kind of doing it on the Retro Room channel. It's going to get pulled off of the Retro Room channel. I'll download it, I'll pull it off the Retro Room channel, and I'll put it up under the resources playlist of Mekanos Cards. And that way, if people need some help with it, then they can come in and they can refer back to it. But ultimately, this is really trying to accomplish 2 or 3 things, right? Firstly, I'm going to teach a couple of shuffles that you'll probably need to know in order to follow along with the next video. Secondly, I shuffle all the time. As much as I am a video game guy, what you don't get to see is what I'm doing when I'm not playing video games, and that's almost all the time, almost every waking second. I have a pack of playing cards in my hands, and I'm shuffling, I'm cutting them, I'm doing all kinds of different cool things with them. That doesn't make me an expert by any means. It definitely does mean that I need to warm up and such, but that's kind of what I'm going to be doing here, is a little bit of warm up and a little bit of practice and, you know, more of my normal thing. So I hope the audio is good. I hope you guys can hear me okay. And I hope you can hear some music in the background, just a little bit, just something fun. If anybody does happen to hop in and have questions, please feel free to leave them there. And we'll practice a few different things. So what I'm going to start out with, very simply, is type of cards I'm using today, and I'll show you exactly why. So I have 3 decks of playing cards I'll be using. Alright, so you can see them here. These are regular old standard bicycle. You can't tell because we're doing this in grayscale, but these are red. This is another pack of bicycles that I'll be using. These are, you can't tell yet again, grayscale. These are sepia, the backs are actually brown. And the reason I'm using a couple of packs of those, this one's in new pack order, ace through ace, essentially. And then I'll be using the playing cards. These are club specials, which are full bleed pack, and I'll talk about why exactly you might want to use those. So this will kind of give a little bit more resources. It's not just going to be shuffling, it's going to be teaching you what cards you might want to use and why. And also demonstrating that if you're only able to use bicycle cards, if you're only able to go to a large retailer and buy a pack of bicycle, that's fine. These actually work really well. Okay, I'm going to turn my headphones down real quick because I'm hearing a lot more music than I am a little me. Okay. Now I hope you guys can hear me okay. Alright, so firstly, why am I using these cards here? These are easy to get a hold of. They're not expensive or extravagant cards, and you don't need those to get going, so this is going to demonstrate that. The next thing is that these are full bleed cards, which means unlike these bicycle over here, you can see there's a white border. There's no white border here, and that's going to make it a little bit easier for you to do things like dealing seconds. I'll show that in just a second. I'm not teaching that one in the next video, but I will be teaching that. I will be teaching that coming up. So if I take a playing card at random, we're going to use the 4 of clubs, okay? And I set the 4 of clubs on top of the pack, like this. I'll show you really quickly, just in case you're a skeptic. Nothing fancy. I take the 4 clubs, I put the 4 clubs on top, and let's assume for whatever reason this is just a weird game we're playing and the 4 clubs is the win-all card. I take the pack in hand, and I deal out the cards just like that, and I have the 4. Okay? Nobody else got the 4. So you can see that now that's a little bit more impressive, I guess, when you're doing it with an ace or something, but same situation. We'll take the ace of spade out. There. Okay, I'm going to pop the ace of spade on top. Yet again, same situation, just one ace of spade. Pop the ace of spade on top. Now, the ace of spade is actually a card that would reliably be one that we would need. And so I'm going to deal, let's do a weird version of blackjack here. So I give the pack a shuffle and a cut. It's a little bit of an extravagant cut. We probably wouldn't do that, but... And then we're going to deal the face-down cards. We'll say there's only 4 people playing this time, okay? Now, in a lot of cases, we'll burn, but for whatever reason, just to make it more difficult, I'll cut the pack several times in my hands. Whoops. So as to make it as difficult as I can. I'll even give it another little shuffle. And I'm going to have to deal the face-up card. Okay, so this isn't necessarily how you would deal it, but if you take a peek, this guy over here is 8-3, that's 11, he'd probably hit. Okay, that's 18, he probably wouldn't hit there. That's 20, you probably wouldn't hit there. And that's 20, you probably wouldn't hit there. And that's 21, that wins the game, that's blackjack. So, we'll start off with the simple. This is just me warming up some. So we're going to start off with the... There we go. We're going to start off with a couple of easy shuffles that you'll need to know. The first one, and probably one of the... It's not a good shuffle, but it's a very common shuffle, is the overhand shuffle. So you're going to hold the deck in your on hand. So this is my right hand here. We'll just remember the hand with the spade on it is my right, and the one with the band on it's my left. You're going to hold this in your on hand, and you're just going to use your thumb, and the 4 fingers are going to go back here like this. The thumb will come up on top, and you're just going to peel a couple of cards off at a time. It can be 2, it can be 5, it can be 10. It doesn't make a difference. It can be nice and sloppy. As a matter of fact, if you're cheating, if you're doing a card mechanic, the sloppier, the better. You want to try and match with everybody else, right? I don't recommend cheating for money, but if you are doing that, this is how you do it. Now, I'll be teaching what's called a stock shuffle version of each of these, which is the way you would use that in a cheating game. So for example, Queen of Clubs is here. In an overhand shuffle, I might do it something like this. Pack looks shuffled, but I did keep the queen where I needed her. I'll teach you how to do that in this next upcoming video, but for now I'm just trying to get you comfortable with the basic shuffles. Okay. So again, card goes here. This is the offhand, this is the on-hand. You're gonna pick it up, and typically you're gonna use, on the short ends of the cards, you're gonna use the right hand. You're gonna have fingers 1 and 2 up top, maybe even finger 3, and the thumb is going to be on the other short end opposite. So you have this like that. Okay. This version right here is very close to what we call, this is what we call biddle grip, where you're holding it with a kind of claw on the short edges there. Okay. So I use my pinky to kind of stabilize them and my finger up here a little bit, just to keep it there, but you might want to use it like this. I've seen it done both ways. Left hand, offhand comes in, cups the back of the packet of the long edge here with fingers 1 through 4. Thumb comes up onto the, where the cards are all kind of, it comes to the other long edge basically, where they're going to be a little bit beveled, and beveled being this kind of stair-step look. And you're just going to peel and pull up. Peel and pull up. Okay? So you're going to, for example, I'll do it with one card face up so you can see it. 7 of spades is here. You're just going to peel that packet off until it clears, falls into the hand, and then you're going to put the rest on top, and you're going to just repeat that again. And again, and again, and again, until you're out of cards. Okay? Okay, let's go ahead and get that 7 back the right way. And that's the overhand shuffle. So what I'll be teaching is the stock version of this, but like I said, in the case of this, we have the ace of diamonds on top, and we're just doing a sloppy overhand shuffle. Okay, very sloppy overhand shuffle, and I have the ace just fine. It's me looking like I don't know what I'm doing with a pack of cards, which is convincing to the spectator, and they don't think, oh, you're going to cheat with a pack of cards, typically. Okay. The next thing is going to be the table riffle shuffle, and I'm going to teach it both ways. I'm going to teach it both the common way, and I'm going to teach it the casino way, and I'm going to teach some variations on it. It's very, very simple. So the common way that people do it is, and I don't really recommend this personally, and I'll explain why, but is people will take the pack in hand, they're holding the short edges, they'll riffle off about half the pack, okay, and then they will, using their fingers here, they'll shuffle like this. It really bends up the cards though, and that really causes a problem for later games. So what I recommend you do, I'll teach you that if you want to know it, is you're holding it yet again by the short edges. Fingers 2, 3, and 4 are on the bottom short edge, and your thumb is on the top short edge. Your finger goes behind, and you're putting the fingernail into the center of the card, and you're just going to push forward with your finger and pull back with your thumb and bottom fingers. So your forefinger, finger 1, is going to push forward, and fingers 2, 3, and 4, as well as the thumb, are going to pull backwards. Okay? And you're just going to riffle off about half, like that. Let them fall into the hand, and then you'll use fingers 2 and 3 of this hand to just push them up until you can grab them with your thumb. Okay? Once you've done that, you want to match the grip similarly to this side. So I use my finger 1 and pinky, finger 4 of each hand to stabilize yet again. So finger 1 on the long edge, finger 4 on the long edge, finger 2 and 3 on one short edge and the thumb on the other. And then I'll let go of that so that they can pull. Put my finger 1s back behind, right here. And then just pull, same situation, same motion you just did. Push forward with the forefinger, pull back with fingers 2 and 3, as well as the thumb. Okay. And then you'll square up. All you're doing is you're coming to the table and you're pushing them into a square stack. Okay. Now, I will go ahead and show you the bridge as well. I know some people like that. if you're doing this move that I'm showing, you're pulling like this, you come over and you're doing this, and then you're gonna pull up. So I'm gonna show you. Once you're in the position where these are interlaced, if you want to bridge them, you're going to, let's go into that position again from here. You're just going to put your thumbs here to hold them together, and you're going to grip them with fingers 2 and 3 of each hand, like this. Now, finger 2 on this hand, I really don't do finger 3. All you're going to do is you're going to pull them up, you're going to push your hands together, keeping your thumbs here. So push your hands together, these knuckles down here, and once you've got some pressure, you'll feel tension, you can let them cascade. Now that was kind of sloppy because I was doing it slow. Let me do it a little faster. Okay, and I'll do it sideways so you can see it in the camera real well. And that's a cascade, or that's the what people call bridge, but it's called a cascade, I believe is what we call that typically. And that's your cascade. Now you can do a cascade up or down or any direction, so in a lot of cases, for example, if I want it to go up, I can just bend them up and have them go into my hand. So cascades can work either which way. You're just basically, all you're doing is in the one-handed cascade, you're going to do the same contact, fingers 2 and 3 on the short edge here, and I'm using the thumb and finger 2 to keep this all together. My fingers back here again, finger 1 is curled back here ready to offer tension, and then I'm going to take fingers 2 and 3 and the thumb on the short edge, bend it up towards my palm, and then I'm just gently going to release the tension with these 2 fingers. Okay. And a side note, I do put my pinky down here to catch them, so. Okay. So that's the basics of the standard riffle shuffle. If you see people shuffling at the table, that's how you'll do it. But I'm going to show you a casino riffle shuffle or table riffle shuffle, which is pretty simple. So we're going to be using the sides of the pack here. Fingers 2 and the thumb are very important. With the offhand, left hand, grab the bottom half-ish. And with the top, grab the top half, or with the right hand, excuse me, the on hand, grab the top. And separate them, just pulling them apart until they clear, and then push them up. Okay. Now, if you notice that your cards can't slide, for example, in this case, this is a perfect cut, 26 and 26, okay? If yours aren't, that's okay. You'll be able to measure it by seeing how many cards can be pushed over on the top. And when you push them together, if they're butting up, then you got a perfect cut, and that's awesome. Now, the casino style tries to get you to do it this way. You still want to make the triangle, but I need my fingers for this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the, it's almost like the Illuminati triangle, right? The symbol that everybody says is Illuminati. But you're basically making a spade with your hands. And what you're going to do is you're going to put your thumbs on these inside edges here on the bottom. You're going to curl your fingers under. And you're going to try and kind of put these on the opposite of your thumb, the opposite ends of your thumb. And you're just gently going to pick these up, not very much. And you're just going to let them fall as best as you can. Excuse me, as best as you can. Until they gently interlace. Okay? Just the ends of them. Then you're just going to come in and gently offer pressure to square them into each other. Once you've done that, you push them in with fingers 3, like this. Fingers 2 and the thumb will come back here and contact the corners and square them up. And I usually give them a little bit of a riffle, which you're probably not supposed to do, but it helps make them more malleable for the next one. Okay? So again, pull back, butt up, gently riffle or drop. Once they've interlaced, push in and square. And that's a shuffled pack. That's the casino table shuffle. And it's typically followed up with some cuts and some other different various things. So those are a couple of the big shuffles you're going to want to know for the video coming up. That's one of the big things I think is very important. is learning those shuffles. Now what I'm going to show you is a couple of the things that I'm going to be teaching in the next ones and what those will lead to. Okay. So in the next video, I'm going to be teaching stock controls, and I'll demonstrate what those are. I'm not going to teach you how to do them until that video, but I'll show you kind of what they are. So we have the Jack of Clubs here. I stick the Jack of Clubs on top. I'm just going to give it a couple of shuffles and cuts. Jack of Clubs is still right there. Okay. Now, if we wanted to do something a little bit more impressive, we'll do something a little bit more fun with it. About like that. And if we give it, we could give it a gentle riffle shuffle in this case, I think is fine. So we're gonna do it. We're just gonna give it a gentle riffle shuffle, very slow one. Okay. Cut. Gentle riffle shuffle again. Shuffle one. I want to show you top and bottom. Okay. That's not it. There we go. And that's a really nice demonstration of stock retention. And there are a couple of other moves in there as well that I'll teach, but that's just an example of stock retention. I'll ribbon spread there. I'll probably also throw a ribbon spread in there. I'll show you how to ribbon spread. It's pretty easy. It's not necessary, so I don't really know. It's kind of more of a flashy move, but yeah, there's a good example of what you might be using this next series of lessons for. So in this case, a ribbon spread just is a way to display the cards to the spectator. I'll toss the aces back in there and lose them. So the idea is you're just going to take the pack. It can be done face up or face down. And so what I typically do is I grab the pack as I would in long form grip and that modified biddle grip, but I kind of do it from the side, so I'm not coming straight on like this. I'm actually grabbing it from the side like this. So fingers 2 and 3 and the thumb are making contact with the short ends, and the finger comes over here like this to the long edge, and it just adds pressure to the beveled edge. And you just want to try and keep that pressure as even as you can, so it'll look like this. Okay. So as you're doing this, your finger's here. Your finger's going to kind of lay flat because the cards are going to bevel up against it. And then as you do it, you're just going to put a little downward pressure and a little pressure with the finger, and you're just going to let your hand kind of splay open. The slower you do it, typically the more uneven it has the opportunity to be. So that if you do it a little bit faster, it has nice even pressure. And what's beautiful is if you can get the pressure decently even, this isn't perfectly even, but if you do that, you can actually pick up the one end here, and the cards will domino effect all the way over to the very end if you follow it. A lot of people like to demonstrate, it's really fun, but if I'll take the ace of spade there, they like to demonstrate it by taking a card, and they'll pick up the pack like this, and they'll just use that card to sail over to that end right there. So it's a really pretty little card flourish. It's not necessary, except for to demonstrate the deck isn't rigged. So you might do this to show that the pack is a normal pack and is shuffled. It's really nice. So you now know how to ribbon spread. You know how to cut, you know how to ribbon spread, you know how to do all this other cool stuff. That's pretty neat. Let's give these a little shuffle there. Good. Okay, I hope this is helpful for anybody who does end up seeing the next video, getting you guys set up on it, because I am excited to show you some of the really cool cheats coming up in the next video. So, of course, the next streams, the next videos will be on the actual channel, the Mekanos Kards channel, but I did decide to use this channel for now, just because it's the only one I can stream on. Okay. One more quick second deal practice. Ace of diamonds goes on top, face down. Ace of diamonds still here, face up. Ace of diamonds stays there. I'm going to get to teach a lot of really cool cheats. I'm really excited about that. So yeah, those are examples of stock retention that I was showing. I guess I will. One of the other ones I should teach, because this is a more complicated stock retention. This is actually not even a stock retention. It's more of it's what we'd call a blind shuffle or a blind cut. And I'll explain it in just a second. But if I do this, let's give it a riffle shuffle. If I take the pack here, this is called a box shuffle, and it's actually a pretty common shuffle you might see too. It's just basically it's a series of cuts where you're bringing the bottom of the pack to the top of the pack. I'll show you why this is handy here, actually, though. So an actual box shuffle, I'm going to use this pack real quick. This pack is in new pack order, which is ace through king of hearts, ace through king of diamonds, then king through, I'm sorry, of clubs, king through ace of diamonds, and king through ace of spades. Give 84 Gaming. Hey, I appreciate you for stopping by. I really do. I'm glad you enjoy it. I've done this and practiced this for nearly 30 years, just non-stop. And so this is actually going on my other channel, but I couldn't stream on that channel. They put a 24-hour block on the channel streaming because I guess it takes that time to set up. I've never streamed on it. So I said, well, I'll do this and then I'll move it over to that channel and I'll try to keep them separate. But I'm glad that some of the people dropped in and are enjoying it, specifically and especially you. That's awesome. That's so cool. Alright, so I'm going to take these really quickly. I'll move this over. So in a real box shuffle looks like this. Right. Oops. Let's try that again. And you're just moving packets from the bottom to the top of the pack like that. Now, that's a real box shuffle, so the cards actually look shuffled and mixed. Okay? And they are. But let's assume that I'm a cheater and I have stack, right? Which means I have a pack of cards in maybe an order that I need it. So these are, yet again, these are a new deck order. And I'm going to come in just like this. I'm going to give it a box shuffle, okay? These are a little bit more stiff, so give me 1 second here to square those up. Hold on. Let's try that again. Okay, nice little box shuffle there. Very simple. And they are all... Oops, I did drop one, it looks like, but they're all still in order is the point. You have to tweet me the other channel. Of course, yeah, I'd love to. I didn't mean to plug it here necessarily. It was just circumstance, but yeah, I'd love to. I teach some lessons, and you get to see my face on that channel as well, if that's of any interest to you. But yeah, I'd love to. This is a passion of mine. I don't know that a lot of people are really interested in this, but I've just always loved it. I've always wanted to do this and perform and teach people the different things, and it's been super cool. So I'll send it out to you after I get done with the stream, if that's okay. I'd love to do that. Okay. So again, just coming here like this. Packs are in new. It's a new deck order. I'm trying to, and this is a practice too, because I'm not perfect at this one. But as you're doing the box shuffle, the idea is to just keep box shuffling just like that. That's a nice neat box shuffle. But the pack is still in absolutely new pack order. So this is a big cheaty technique. It's what we call a blind shuffle, which means that every single card stays in the exact same order, even though it emulates an actual shuffle. Same thing can be done with a riffle shuffle, which I'll be teaching blind shuffles in another one as well. And in a blind shuffle, if I took the cards and I gave them this riffle, right? A lot of cases, you push those packs together, right? Pull them again, maybe give them another shuffle. And then that's where you might come up and give a box shuffle, I think. Oops. I had something fall on my hands there. Hold on. Sorry. Start over here. This pack's not as well behaved as my B pack there. It's a little newer, so. But you give the pack a shuffle, maybe another shuffle, cut, and yet again, you can give it a series of box cuts if you want to add on top of the riffle shuffles. But the cards still stay in perfect new deck order. And that uses what we call the pull-through or the push-through method, in addition to what we would consider a blind box shuffle. So if I wanted to keep control of the cards, not only can I keep control of one, I can keep control of all of them. So really neat technique. I'll go back to the legitimately mixed pack. There we are. Nice and comfortable. Now, I did make mention of this. It's definitely good to have these packs here. Now I'll start doing some. I'm just giving a taste of kind of some of the stuff I'll be teaching on the channel. If you don't want the magic spoiled, I always do a performance ahead. I almost always do a performance ahead of the thing, so at least you'll see some of the stuff. But one of the ones I liked was a 3-card Monty routine I had done on the trailer. I'll actually teach this. This is a really cool little thing, but since I'm just practicing here, I'll show. So we need, we need 2 queens and an ace. We'll use ace of diamonds there. And we'll use, let's do, where's another queen? There's another queen. Okay. So this is a 3-card Monty. This is my crooked 3-card Monty. I'll show. It's not the casted 3-card Monty, so I like this. So I have the pack of cards here. I have queens on the bottom. So I show you the queen. And I set the queen down. Okay. Same situation if I show you this queen. Okay. And I set this queen down. So we have a red queen and we have a black queen. So we need a card that's essentially going to be different than that. So we'll use the ace in this case. There's an 8 there. Set the ace down right about here. Set the pack out of the way. Ace is here. Red queen, black queen. So all you have to do to win the money is keep your eye on the ace here. So I'm going to just toss the cards. I'm going to do it only one at a time. And very slowly. Like that. AR, welcome to the stream. Thanks for popping in. I'm doing some different stuff. It'll get moved over to the other channel pretty soon, just because I didn't want to mix them too much, but I couldn't stream otherwise. It wouldn't let me. Okay. I'm doing well, though. It's pretty awesome, actually. Okay, so 3 cards are here. Toss the 3 cards. I've done the mix. I don't know. I've lost track of it. But it doesn't matter because I didn't set the ace down, so you had no chance of winning there. It's a really huge. That's one of the big. A lot of times when they do the 3-card Monty, they've got these cards where they'll pick up 2 at a time. Let me get the ace back. It's over here. I'll throw this card out for a second. They'll take it where they pick up 2 cards. The actual technique is to take the cards, crimp them, and then pick up 2 cards, show the ace, and then cast it over like that, and then mix them all up. And the ace is here. So this is all kind of a cheat. But I decided that I liked a more sure thing because people can catch on to that. Stuff like this is chill. I'm glad to hear that. This is one of my favorite things in the world to do, is to perform. I've been doing stuff like this and working with these for, like I said, near 30 years, and it's been I've enjoyed it so much. So I'm glad that you guys are I'm glad you guys are enjoying it too. So yeah, this is the idea of it is pretty nice, but I thought I liked a sure bet a little bit better, and so in my case, I'll set that in there. I have the red and the black queen here, so red queen goes down, black queen goes down, and then you have the ace. And I thought if I set it down, if I set it in the hand, that's a little, because I have this here, so if I could also turn them sideways like this, right? Red queen, black queen. And if I set them down like this, instead of setting it into the other hand, I could just set it straight on the table and pull it back. But it doesn't, it looks a little, to me, it looks a little bit more suspect. So I take the ace, I'll do it anyway, so you can see it. And I set it down on the table, push it forward. I don't quite like that one as much, but anyway. You can cast the cards all you want, but there's no ace. So, that was my 3-card Monty. That was my version of 3-card Monty, which I thought was pretty interesting. It's not how you would actually see it in the streets. When you see it in the streets, if you ever go to Vegas, if you ever see 3-card Monty there, I wouldn't mess with it. Everybody that isn't you is involved in that hustle. From the guy that's doing it, which is the controller, to the guy that's behind him, the big guy that looks like he's trying to keep you honest, to every spectator that's playing the game, that are, you know, winning the game. Those guys are all paid goons just to take your money. Alright, let's do a little, just for the fun of it, let's do a little, I don't know if I can do this real well, but I'll try. 4 queens. This is not a gambling sleight, this is just fun what I'm about to do, so. It's called Mercury. It is not mine to teach, it is Chris Mayhew, so I won't be teaching it. But I'll show it. 4, well, I don't guess I really need the rest of the deck for it. We'll put the pack here. Honestly, hold on. Let me give these a break because these are getting a little sticky. I'll get the, we'll use the red bikes here for a second. So yeah, what I'm about to do is just fun. It's not a gambling slide or anything. Okay. Let's see if I can hunt the queens down here for the fun of it. And also, I don't know if anybody does, I mean, people may just be more interested in watching this than learning it, and that's okay too. But if anybody does have questions, definitely feel free to ask. That's a queen right there, isn't it? Yeah, that's queen. Cool. And I'd be happy to address those as best as I can. Alright, so we're going to shuffle the bikes up. Oh, side note too, if you ever see me performing, these are practice cards. I usually like, they do make, believe it or not, they make it these kind of designer-esque, this one's used to high heaven, but they do make these really nice kind of designer-esque cards. So if you ever see me performing with these and you're like, he has to have those kinds of, I don't have to have them, but they are really nice. But I just practice with bicycles, because if I wear out my bicycles, I don't, you know, it's $2. Alright, so 4 queens. Mix the pack up here to make sure I'm just completely out of here. Front and 2 back. Okay, we're going to try it, see if we can do it. But if I hold them face up to face down like that, right, you can definitely tell the difference. You can absolutely see it. So the idea is, I take the queens. Well, here, I'll do it this way. I'll put these out of the way. Show the backs. And I'll show the fronts. Now, I'm going to do it as slowly as I can. I'm going to turn this one face down in my hand, but I'm not going to give it room to turn face down. Oh, I appreciate you for stopping by, Gib. No worries. So just like this, pops in. And that's one face down. Next one. Just like that. That's 2 face down. Okay, face down card goes in. So I already have a face down queen. And that reverses that one. Face down queen goes back in. Just like that. And now all the queens are face down. Typically I'll ask somebody at this point, I'll say, hey, would you be impressed if I could snap my fingers and reverse them all? But the answer is yes, but if I just snap my fingers typically, but if I reverse them, and I show them I didn't have the queens, I was holding the aces the whole time. So that's Mercury by Chris Mayhew, and it's a really, really beautiful effect. And then for people that are a little bit more skeptical, we pull the queens out of the center of the pack over here. That is not a casino cheat move, that is definitely a performance move. But that is Mercury by Chris Mayhew, and can be done with anybody's deck of cards. Okay. Whoa. Let's go ahead and get rid of these. Give them a mix. So yeah, Mercury, regrettably, like I said, not mine to teach, but I am excited to get to teach some sleights. Now, one of them I really am excited about, I definitely am excited about seconds. That's one of my favorites. So I'll show how that is. For anybody who didn't get to see earlier, these are bordered, so these are not full bleed cards, so they're not great for seconds, but if your seconds are good, they'll work out okay. Queen of Hearts. Pack gets shuffled and cut. And just practicing seconds. It's become one of my favorite things to do next to the box shuffle practice. The blind box shuffle. Oh, I guess I should go ahead and also show single card track and retention here. This is I will teach this. This is a sequence, so this is going to be different, but I'll teach it nonetheless. It's not a difficult sequence, but I like it. So you guys actually have a top-down view, so it's going to be a little difficult for me to get away with some of these, but I'll show. This is some of the stuff I'll be teaching. So this is a single card track and retention. So I have the Queen of Hearts here. So Queen of Hearts goes into the middle of the pack. And just so you can see. And she gets pushed in. Now if she gets pushed in, everything's fair. I cut the pack and give it a shuffle. I want to show you I'm not cheating here. Nope, she's not there, okay? Give it maybe a box shuffle series of cuts, maybe another riffle shuffle, okay? And then I need the Queen of Hearts. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and deal out, we'll say a 5-card hand, or 5-card game. And we're going to just assume for the sake of it, Queen of Hearts is the win-all card. And there's the Queen of Hearts. Everything else is whatever else I dealt. No duplicates. So that's neat little single card stock to track. It can be done with multiple, but the single card version is a little bit prettier. And I'll also be teaching laps and mucks too. That's going to be which are really, this is definitely the cheatiest of cheaty techniques, and it really requires someone bold. But I'll take the 3 there for example. Let's do this. So this is a muck here, which is pretty nice. So you have the 3 of Hearts here. This is my, assuming that you can do it with 2 cards, but this is my whole card. So 3 is here. but it's face down because you can't see it. I come to peek my whole card like this, and I look, I turn it over, and I have an ace. And that's known as mucking. So. Alright, let's try that again. Pop this back here. Or we'll put the 3 back out here. We'll pop the ace back in to the pack here. And then you have, we'll put the pack down. Yet again, 3 is my whole card. I have the ace here. Or the 3 here, rather. I come in, cover up my whole card to peek, turn over an ace. So that is that's mucking, and that's not typically how you would ditch the muck, but I'll teach the way I do it. I mean, that's the way I do it's a little weird, but that's a muck. There's only one card there, and you're able to play the other card later. So when you come to check your hand, if you decide that you like the, for example, if I decided I would rather have the ace of spades instead of the ace of hearts here. Ace of hearts is my whole card. You can see it. I come over, I peek my whole card, I flip it over, and I can end relatively clean, and I have the ace of spades there. This is not a magic technique. This is just a cheater's technique called mucking. Brilliant technique. So yeah, I'll be teaching that. I'll be teaching Gambler's Cop as well. It's probably one of the better palms out there. So I'll be showing the different ways and subtleties you would hold out. So for example, a lot of people think when you're palming a card, a lot of people think that you need to palm a card like this. And you can if your hands are big enough, right? If your hands are big enough, I can actually palm a card laterally pretty comfortably. But the idea is, if you're going to palm a card, you can also just palm it like this. Top down, you can see where the card is, but from up there in the front, you can't see it. And so now I can actually move my fingers if I want to, or if I cut a pack, right? I have the pack like this. From this side over here, you can't see me. So as I do this, 2's on top there. As I cut the pack, I drop off the ace of spade, and then I just put that on top. And you get the ace of spade on top. So now I can deal seconds. So yet again, I'm in this. This is called Tenkai Palm, by the way. I'll teach the subtleties of it eventually in a palming video. But and you have a 4. The pack comes to you. So the idea is, if I'm in Tenkai, I probably would be in Tenkai here like this. Because the dealer would be on my left, right? And so the idea is, I would come in, he would pass the pack to me. As he passes the pack to me, I have this Tenkai back here, and I can actually hold it like this. Now I'll do it reverse for now, just to show it for simplicity's sake. But I come in like this, and as I cut, I drop off, and then I cut the pack. All right, ace is there on top, and I know it's in play. I could do that with an entire packet. So if I'm the 4th guy in play, ace is the 4th card. I can Tenkai the entire packet of 4, and then do that same cut. So just cut the pack. Cuts here, cards are here, comes forward, and now I know when he deals the cards, so long as he doesn't shuffle and cut himself, I know he's going to deal me that ace of spades. Dealer, player 1, player 2, me. So really, really handy. Where it's single card retention is handy as if I do it myself as a dealer. So I'm in Tenkai Palm here. I give the pack what looks to be a fair cut, like that, and then now I'm dealing a... now I pair that with seconds. 1, 2... Whoops. Let's try that again. Ace is here. Tenkai Palm. Pack gets cut, like that. Ace was deposited. Player 1, 2, 3, and 4. And now I have it again. No other ace of spade on the table. So just a really nice little series of cheats. So I'm showing little odds and ends. I'm showing you how to shuffle cards. I'm showing you kind of, this is we call it a shuffle session, or we call it a jam session sometimes, just to kind of come in and just practice and show some of the stuff that we're going to be teaching or doing. It's really fun. It's really cool to do. So, really quickly, I'm going to break out the vintage backs, just because they need to be broken in. I'm actually really enjoying this, though. So I want to say, for anybody who happens to be in here, who has come in here, Gib, AR, you guys, anybody who's dropped in and said nothing in the chat, but just stopped in to see what I'm doing, thank you so much for stopping by. Okay. There's a card clip, by the way. If ever you decide to get them, good idea if you carry cards around all the time. They're made of metal or wood, typically. Sometimes plastic. So these are vintage backs I really liked the look of. Very inexpensive. They're just bicycle cards, but this is what the backs of bicycle cards look like in 1900 through 1906 in America. Okay. Let's do a quick little false hope handoff. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I appreciate it. I really thank you for being here. So we have the 8 and 6 here, right? Hand off the 8 just like this. Set the 8 down on the table. Ace of clubs for the deal. I call it the false hope handoff, though, because it can be done to a spectator in their hands, and it doesn't feel any different than than handing them the right card does. So yet again, ace of clubs, bottom of the pack. I want them to get the, we'll say 3 of hearts. Hand it off. 3 of hearts. It's a beautiful little sequence there. Okay. Let's do a neat. Let's do one more. See if I can do a nice little Aces Revelation here. Give that a mix. Okay. Actually, you know what? Let's use something. Well, I think it's a little stereotypical, but let's do it anyway. Take the jokers out of the pack. And these ones aren't quite broken in perfectly, so. Okay, jokers are out. Okay, top card, bottom card. Cut. Shuffle. Cut. Ace. Top card, bottom card. Shuffle. Cut. Shuffle. Cut. Ace. Top card, bottom card. Shuffle. Cut. Ace. A little sloppy there. Let's try that. Just shuffle it this way then. Give it a cut that way. Cut it that way. Oh, I love this. These actually feel really good. They are printed in Erlanger, Kentucky, but they have Cincinnati on them, and maybe that's just tricking my brain into making these feel like Cincinnati Back when they were printing in Cincinnati, or in Cincinnati. These are nice. I like these a lot. There's something about playing cards. There's just an elegance to playing cards, in my opinion. Especially if somebody knows how to shuffle them, knows how to manage them. And I don't say I know how to do that, but boy, I do enjoy it. I'll say that much. Okay. Okay, we'll do one more single card shuffle track. Ace of Hearts. Adequately fit to show the appreciation I have for everybody who showed up today to take a look at some of this stuff. This music with what we are doing might be the most chill thing I've ever seen on YouTube. Well, thank you very much. I do love to shuffle to music. Oh, I was finding the Ace of Hearts, wasn't I? I think we can do that. Wait. Yeah, I think we can do that. Is this an indie or no deal run? Not quite. It's just a shuffle sesh. I was going to do this on the other channel, but I can't stream there for 24 hours due to they take that long to set you up. And so I said, well, okay, I'm going to make this stream anyway. It's Sunday, I have time. I'm going to take some time to practice. I practice every day. I practice for hours every day, by the way. I usually practice for anywhere between probably 5 and 10 hours a day. Whenever I'm not doing games, I'm always shuffling cards. I'm always dealing and shuffling and practicing new sleights and all these other kinds of cool things. So, and I said, for the next video that's coming up, I'm teaching some cool stuff. And some people don't know how to... Whoops, apparently that didn't work out. I'll try that again. More than a system of wires and circuits. But a lot of people don't know how to shuffle cards, and so I thought, well, I'll just come on and show some people a couple things. A couple things I'll be teaching, a couple shuffles they can do, etc.
Be your friend. No more than the table you built it on will be.
See if I can do a pretty shapeshifter here, though. Kind of. Kind of. I'm not the big... I used to love shapeshifter, but I'm not the most large fan of it now. Most avid fan. Yeah, to me, there's just this... There's an elegance with cards that it's, to me, and yet again, not everybody may agree, but I feel like that there's just this when people know how to handle a pack of cards, I feel like that there's this neat little, I don't know, if you just feel like you're captured. Oh, and hello. Hi, Thumb. Sorry if I didn't say hello as well. There's just this, I don't know, there's just something that to me feels elegant about it, so. 3? Oh, 7, okay. Let's do this with the other ones. Guess you could have done a couple of streams to break it up on your other channel. Yeah, well, my other channel doesn't let me stream at all right now because they're still setting up and they have a 24-hour wait time to do that. So that was my intention, was to do a Shuffle Sesh is really, it's about me getting to demonstrate some stuff, but it's also really about me just getting to practice and perform for people too. It's about, like I said, I practice all the time, so it's just, I'm not going to practice for, you know, 6 hours necessarily on camera, but I thought if I'm going to practice anyway, if I'm going to shuffle cards anyway, I might as well go ahead and put a stream up. Well, you can't stream for 24 hours. If you've never streamed on a channel, it takes 24 hours to set it up. So I thought, well, it's a Sunday. I can't really do it tomorrow. It's going to be a Monday. I don't know what that looks like yet. I know it's going to be busy. So I might as well just stream here, and then I'm going to take this video down to this channel and migrate it over to the other channel. And then whenever I do card streams in the future, it'll be on that channel. But I thought, well, for now, this is a nice bypass. Rave Warrior Alpha, hey Retro Room, how you doing, bro? I hope you're having a great time with the live stream, and I love the cards, by the way. Oh, thank you so much. Also, thank you, AR and Rave Warrior Alpha, for retweeting. I really appreciate that. This was just kind of to be a chill practice session and show you how to shuffle session, all that kind of good stuff. If you didn't know how to, of course, many of you might. I'm a long-time practitioner with a pack of cards. Doesn't mean I don't make mistakes. I certainly do. I think everybody does, but okay. Oops, try that again. There we go. Oh, I thought you were going to stream for no, there's a no. That's not a bad idea, but no, I can't stream for 24 hours on the channel. If you haven't streamed on the channel, there's a 24-hour wait period before you can start to stream there. And so since it's already Sunday, I wouldn't be able to stream until late today / early tomorrow. Well, some people are on a different clock. You and I, Thumb, are only an hour difference, but I believe AR and I are a 6-hour difference, 5 hours from you. And so if I did this, you know, late at night, then it may be at 4 in the morning, and if he decided he wanted to be a part of it, well, I wanted to make sure it wasn't too uncomfortable. So if I started at 12 or 12:30, which is what I aim to start at, then it's only about 6:30 p.m. where he is. So right now it should be about 7:35 p.m. Where he is, where Heaps is, you know, where other people are, and that way I could, if they did want to join, they could. If they didn't, that's okay, but I wanted it to be reasonable for everybody. Yeah, there's I don't know, shuffling to lo-fi music, some of my favorite stuff. It's just one of my favorite things to do. You get in a groove. Honestly, here, I will show you my, since you guys are here, I'll show you my favorite song to shuffle to. So you're gonna hear you're probably gonna hear you're probably gonna hear the thing, music go dead for a second, but I shuffle. I mean, even when I'm just sitting here and not really. See if I made a I don't know if I made a folder for it. I've got the hiccup, sorry. But yeah, you can see, like, even as I'm navigating the mouse, I'm shuffling with the other hand, or I'm cutting the cards several times with the other cards, and I'm sorry, with other cuts. I'm cutting the cards in my hand with other cards and cuts. I couldn't say that, I'm sorry. Alright, so let's see. But yeah, I just enjoy cards. I enjoy the feel of cards. I enjoy the rhythm of it. So that's a Charlier cut right here. There's a triple Charlier right here. This is my long Charlier, which I think I like it a little bit better than the traditional Charlier. I use it a lot more, if nothing else, just because I think it looks so much cleaner. If I do this, I think that's a cleaner looking cut to me versus the Charlier, which looks like that. So Charlier, Charlier, this one. And this one is my Charlier, the one I've had come up with. Let's see if I can find it, though. I'll show you. See if we can find my There it is. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and pause this music for a second. I found this song, and these are all, the songs that I'm playing are all YouTube safe, or I have permission to use them for YouTube and streams, so. This is one of my favorites, though, to shuffle to. You're gonna hear it here in a second. See, I don't think you guys could hear that, so I'm going to turn it up a little. That's a little bit better. So this was actually I discovered this on another Card Fellows channel, so to speak. One of my favorite modern day card performers, and it's just one of my favorites. It's just got a good beat to it. And he was doing this expose on card cheating, and I thought it was great. So it's a little weird, I get it, but it's my favorite one to shuffle to at present. Let's see. Just going to get practice with a little bit of the clumpy deck here, but try it again, go and do some box cuts. So for people who didn't get to see it earlier, let's move the mouse. Packs in new deck order: ace through king hearts, ace through king clubs, king through ace diamonds, king through ace spades. Pack gets firstly a series of box cuts. It's a little clumpy, so let's try this again. That should be pretty mixed up. But if you can see it, it's absolutely not one card out of place. Try it again. One of the tricks too, side note, and I do it a little, I'm a little rough with it sometimes, is don't rush. Try and make it smooth, because if you rush, people get suspicious. But if you're doing it smooth, if you're doing it just kind of like it's supposed to be done that way, turn that down a little. If you do it smooth, as if that's how it's meant to be done, I dropped a couple cards there, but if you do it smooth as if that's how it's supposed to be done, most people aren't going to call you out. Also, another thing I guess I should bring up to note is, remember that a cut doesn't really do much to the pack. So this is the cuts that I'm doing here, these box cuts are box shuffles. A genuine one will do something to the pack. Of course, what I'm doing are called blind ones, so no cards are out of order. But when you're doing an actual cut, this is the pack in order. Okay, this is a real cut, but that I'm about to make. Okay, now the cards are technically still in order, They're just in a slightly different order. But check this out. If I add another cut to it someplace else, that doesn't change the chaos of that order. So if I cut, anytime I cut, even if I cut, let's cut here, that's 1, 2, 3, 4 cuts. One cut can still fix this whole mess. No matter how many cuts you add to a pack of cards, one good cut still changes the order. So in this case, that cut would be right there. And the pack's in new deck order again. So always remember to shuffle. If you're cutting, you're not changing the order of the cards, and one cut restores the entire order. See, now they're cut. They're cut perfectly 26 and 26. And I just cut them back. Yeah, I don't know if you guys can tell, I'm having actually quite a lot of fun. So thank you again for being here, everybody. I'm having a ton of fun. Oh, I think I messed up the camera there. That's another one I really like. Right there, by the way. Why is it called a box cut? Because of the... So it's a box shuffle in this case, but a box shuffle keeps the cards... when you're coming back in, you're keeping them in this boxed order. You're not really... So in the riffle shuffle, like you're doing this, but this is what we would consider square or boxed up. And so when you do that, you're maintaining the box portion or the square portion of at least part of the pack. That's why it's called a box cut. But there's some names that don't make sense at all, too. I'll admit that. I'll be the first to admit that. For example, oh, shoot. Let's see. Really quickly, I pull up a nice other card. Card song. Goodness. Okay. So, for example, this is a mechanics grip. Well, I know why it's called a mechanics grip, because it's the grip that a card mechanic would use. But this is called Biddle Grip. B-I-D-D-L-E. Biddle Grip? I have no idea why. I have no idea. After all that, I don't know why they call it Biddle Grip. This is, you know, so that's the thing. So, like, this is a riffle shuffle because you riffle the cards. And this is a Pharaoh shuffle. F-A-R-O, not Pharaoh, like the... Why are they called cards? I don't know. Honestly, I honestly think that the Chinese probably had some hand in that since they invented them. And it's one of my most favorite things about Chinese heritage is to learn that they invented the playing cards in the 10th century, I think. And China has done a ton of cool things. They've done a ton of really cool things, but the invention of playing cards is the thing that I'll be eternally grateful to them for. So yeah, it's really interesting. I don't know. There's a lot of, like, for example, like I said, this is a riffle shuffle because this is a table riffle shuffle because you're riffle shuffling on the table, right? So that makes sense. This is a Pharaoh shuffle because it was a shuffle that would be used back when you could play Pharaoh, right? When you could play a Pharaoh on the Pharaoh, you play games of Pharaoh, right? I get that. But this is called a Charlier cut. I have absolutely no idea why. Oh, you didn't... Well, yeah, that's just they were long, kind of oval shaped back then, but yeah. So it's just this really nice, I don't know. But yeah, it's all these cheaty techniques that I'm using at the same time. Like, it's just, there's something fun about it. I don't know. I quite like it. These are some of the songs, these are some other songs that I'm really enjoying too, so. That I had gotten for. I got some jazzy stuff that I really enjoyed too, so. Oh, this is not what I was thinking though. Let's turn that one off. That startled me. I think it was this one I meant to click. There we go, that's what I was looking for. Yet again, all this music is thankfully YouTube safe. I've gotten permission to use them, so that's pretty nice. Okay. But yeah, just, I don't know, there's just something really nice about it. But yeah, so recently my biggest practices have been seconds and box shuffles, blind box shuffles. Just because seconds are so hard to get done right, and I'm gonna teach an in-depth on it, but I should do a face-up. I haven't done a face-up, so I'll show that. But if I take the cards, we'll actually, you know, we'll find the ace of clubs for. Just for demonstration purposes. Okay, real quick. King of clubs, two of clubs, no ace of clubs. Give the pack a, whoops, give the pack a cut. I tried to do that a little bit more smoothly, but that's what I was looking for right there. Okay. So I'll do it face down firstly, and then I'll do it face up next. So face down. You try not to grab two, I do that all the time, but ace of clubs goes here. Cards get dealt face down first, right? Next is the cards get dealt face up. Ace is still here, ace of clubs. You deal them face up. This is what we'd call stud dealing, by the way. Okay? So stud dealing. Pharaoh dealing is dealing from the front like this. Okay? So what I had at the very beginning, you can kind of see where I was pulling the second card. That's called a hanger. That'll get you shot if you're actually playing in a back alley casino game, so don't do that. But so face down looks like this, like I said, normal. And then we have face up stud. That's stud style. And then we have face up Pharaoh style, which is like this. Yet again, another hanger there, but that's okay. Now I'll do it face up. So ace of clubs goes here, face up. I love this kind of loungy music too. This is just really nice. Okay. Ace of clubs goes on top, face up. So you guys can actually see how I'm doing it. You're not seeing how I'm doing it, but you're seeing that I'm doing it. See? So nice and clean. The cleaner you can make it, the better. I'm not perfect yet. I'm trying to get my my brief to be as small as I can. Best second dealer in the world is a gentleman by the name. He lives not too far from me, actually, just a couple hours drive. Same state. A gentleman called Richard Turner lives in San Antonio, Texas. So he's not too far away. Now, granted, you can driving from Texas, top to bottom or side to side can take anywhere between 12 and 14 hours, just depending. So it's a very very big state, second biggest in the thing, and that's both good. That's a great boasting, right? If you really care about it, but it's honestly really frustrating when you're just trying to get from one place to another and you drive for half a day and don't see anything but the same state you've been in. But something else. There we go. But anyway, he's the world's greatest card cheat currently, 66 years old. He is blind, so he wouldn't be able to teach me anything because he could tell me how to do it and he could show me how to do it. But he couldn't guarantee me because he's blind, he wouldn't be able to see if I'm doing it correct. So sadly, he can only show you the techniques. He can't really enforce whether or not you're doing them correctly. So I practice really hard because I'd like to be that good when I'm about his age. That's the idea. But his, so what I'm calling a brief, I should go ahead and demonstrate, or should show. So Ace of Clubs is still here. If I pull the card back like this, this is way exaggerated, but if I pull the card back like this little area that you can see that is not the top card, this is called the brief. This is the area that you're supposed to grab onto. The smallest brief that's out there is his, which is a 3/32 of an inch brief. Mine is about twice that big. It's probably between the 16th and maybe even 4 times that big. The 16th to an 1/8 of an inch. So that right there is about where mine is, and that's a lot bigger. His is only about like that, and maybe not even. So I would like to get mine down to that. You can't even see it, but that right there, I'd like to do that, but it's going to take some practice. I mean, it took me practice to get it down to about a 16th of an inch, so that's, for him to have it down to a 32nd, I mean, it's going to take, I think he says you have to practice 10,000 hours. Thankfully, I come in at over the 20,000 hour mark, but not in specifically second dealing. Mine didn't need that kind of information. Well, I will say this, so as not to, because I'm not boasting on that. In this case, the smaller is the better. That's funny. Yeah, so there's a theory, and he stands by it, and I agree with it to an extent too. 10,000 hours is the amount of time needed if you're practicing it correctly, right? He's the one that also coined the perfect practice makes perfect, because if you're practicing something and you're doing it wrong, this is all Richard Turner's words, by the way, not mine. But Richard Turner says if you're practicing and you're practicing wrong, then your practice, the perfect that you're going to get out of it will be perfectly wrong. And so I agree with that. I think that's a good principle. So 10,000 hours boils down to being about 10 years at a. Oh, I don't even remember. It's 10 years at a certain amount of day, and I've been doing this for near 30 years, and I've done it for probably, like I said, I usually practice on a short day. I probably don't practice. I probably practice for 3 or 4 hours. I almost always have a pack of cards with me, so you can deal while you're sleeping. I'm pretty close. I definitely do it. I've had conversations before where I would. Let's try this. I don't know what this one is. Oh, I do too know what this one is. I had a conversation with some people that thought I was being, and I didn't mean to do it either. It was definitely not polite of me. But I was shuffling cards while they were talking to me, and they weren't very happy about it. And they realized I wasn't having issues talking while I was shuffling the pack. I could still do this. I literally walked around the house with the cards behind my back in one hand doing this. Right, Charlier cuts and all this other long cuts, right? So. But yeah, I definitely have practiced, I've definitely practiced several thousands of hours, tens of thousands of hours to be even halfway decent. And you guys, I mean, I'm not the assessor of how good I am. You guys are. I'm the assessor of how good I want to be. So you guys can tell me what you think, and if you think I'm doing well, if you like what I do. By the way, I'm not looking for necessarily a compliment or any of that. I don't want to sound like I don't want to come across as if I'm doing that. I'm asking for a compliment. But if you guys think I'm good or you think I'm not good, that's the opinion that's going to matter, because you guys are the audience. And then I have to, from that, build up whether or not, where I want to be. But can I shuffle while I'm sleeping? I don't know, but I do know I can hold a pack of cards while I sleep. I can, without dropping them. But yeah, this is just nice little shuffles to practice, and then of course, like I said, I'll do a trick with something. Another one, I guess I should show this one off. This is something I hadn't shown. This is a really cool technique called culling. The thing, I guess I should say, I think people make shuffling more difficult than it needs to be too. So I'll show you. Shuffling is just mixing the cards. So if you take two cards right here and two piles, and you just kind of gently do this, they'll mix. You don't have to worry about, you know, so just like this, and the cards will mix just fine. So a lot of people make a big deal out of it. Now it's actually harder to cheat that. It's a kind of a weird mix there. It's actually kind of hard to cheat that mix, but yeah, you don't have to do anything fancy. The cards will mix just fine. So it's you know, but I'll go ahead and show this. This is called culling. This is a technique that's you probably won't see a cheat do this too much because a cheat doesn't typically get they're not allowed to look through the pack and find a card. But I'm gonna demonstrate it as best as I can here. Let's see. Let's try. Did I do this one? I don't think so. I'm playing some of the songs that I like. Normally I have it on a random lo-fi playlist that I have permission to use the songs on that playlist, but some of these I have picked out, selected, I really like, so. So I'll cull the Ace of Spades. So the idea of culling, I'll show you the Ace of Spades not on the bottom. It's not on the top. And if I go through the cards, and I'll show you where the Ace of Spades is. I'll show you it's at right here, right? So if I go through the cards like this, and I set the pack back down just like that, I turn over the top cards, you can see I got the Ace of Spades. That's called culling. It's a super sneaky technique to get a card to the top. I'll show it to you again with something different. So we'll come through. I'll show you not on the bottom, not on the top. It's a 2 on the top, 9 on the bottom. And if I spread through here, and I look for, let's cut it a little deeper. There. Here. Let's put you, I'm going to put it in the middle because I want it to be as difficult as possible. But you come through the cards, if you get someone that gets the opportunity to just take a peek at the cards, essentially, right? Okay. And there's the Ace of Clubs. So a cull is a sneaky way. The magicians use that more than anyone, but it's a sneaky way to get a selection ready into the top of the pack, and then from there you can start doing sneaky and cheat. Well, I'll show you. I'll put this one back. I'll just do a single card cull and retention. So we have the Ace of Spades here. Okay, so the Ace of Spades goes in. You can see it's halfway in. Okay. Okay. Pack gets mixed. Cut. Mixed. And the ace is right there. This is a beautiful card control. But it's only in sequence. The cull is just that sneaky move that gets you to go there. So I use a different series of methods when I'm doing my single card control because I don't want to look at the cards necessarily. So as I'm shuffling the cards, right? Sorry. Let's do it this way. My ace is not on the top of the pack, right? You can see that. And as I'm doing box shuffles here, it's not on the bottom of the pack, okay? And then I can take the pack and I can shuffle it like that, like this. Give it another shuffle, okay? So you can see, I want to show you, it's not on the bottom and not on the top of the pack. But what I am going to do is I'll give the pack a cut like that, and there's the ace right there. So my sequence is a little bit more complicated version of the cull shuffle, which I'll teach that sequence too. I want to teach that sequence because that is, as far as I know, and I've done a lot of research to figure it out, that is my own sequence. there's very few things in gambling and in Magic with cards that you're going to find that are yours. So, but that is one that I'm pretty certain, and I feel pretty comfortable saying is mine. So I really like it. I hope you guys are enjoying this. So I think I'll do just a couple other things, and then I think I'll call it a stream. But I hope you guys have enjoyed coming in and talking with me and getting to watch me do some performances. You know, this is, like I said, I do this for myself, but I know how I do all of it, right? So it's not I don't really appreciate it in the same way that somebody who maybe doesn't know how I'm doing everything, you know, might. And I hope that you guys don't know everything I'm doing. I hope that some of it's kind of surprised you and given you a sense of awe, and if nothing else, I hope it was entertaining and fun, and you know, stuff kind of I don't know, just that's the idea, that's the thing. Okay. So I guess the last thing I was going to show were cuts, and simple cuts, and this is the really cheaty way to do this. But you'll notice some of the stuff I've been using. I'm not going to teach how I'm doing them just yet. There will be a whole video on cuts. But I'll show a couple of things. If you see anybody performing like this, I'd be very careful. Okay. So we're going to use a random card. 3 of hearts. Okay. 3 of hearts goes on top. Pack gets squared and then cut. I don't know a single thing you've done, but it's been chill. Well, I'm glad. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope it's been fun. You know, I used to before things got complicated with last year, I used to go out and actually perform a lot of this too, and it was a lot of fun, but that's slowed down a little bit, so. There's the 3, by the way. Let's try again. So 3 goes back on top. Yet again, pack gets cut. Just like that. So you can see where the 3 should be sticking out here. Square the pack up, no cover. 3's right there. In the hand cut, looks like this. It's actually got me thinking about a fighting game character design where they use cards. Which character is that? So 3's here. Okay. As it done typically like this is how it looks. Don't ever let anybody cut super fast like that either. That's actually used, or right around the back like this is used a lot. Either way, both of those cuts are fake. Boom. The front scrape cut. But from the back it's a lot more convincing. But the in the hand cut, yet again, this one's probably the most convincing to me. Oh, I mean, oh, very nice. I'd love that. I think that'd be awesome. Okay, now you've seen this cut I've done. 3's here. This is called a, I think it's been called a flying 3-way cut. Let me try that again. It was a little sloppy. But either way, it's still there. Here, boom. So if anyone passes the pack, shuffles the pack, cuts the pack quickly, they're probably cheating. Yeah, I'd love to see what that character looks like. That'd be awesome. So this is just a whole series of cuts. Doesn't matter how many times I do it. Now if I go back to that box shuffle, I guess I'll do something a little bit more cheaty here, so we'll use a Erdnase change. do a little bit more magic for a second. Take the 3. Okay. Set it there. Drop the cards on top. 3's here. So there's definitely some cheating going on there. Alright, I think the last effect I'll show real quick, just for the fun of it, just a quick magic effect, is the Erdnase color change. And that's just because this is pretty neat. And I'll show it face down and then I'll show it face up. So no music for these, just because of the finality of it. So I take a playing card, a series of playing cards here. And I'm going to go, I have this 3 of diamonds here. I don't want the 3 of diamonds, I'd like a king. So if I'm going to cheat, in this case, I'm the dealer. I notice I would do something called peeking the bubble, by the way, to know that I have that 3. So what that is I'm going to put my finger here, push back, and it creates this little bubble in the cards, and I can see that that's the 3 of diamonds, okay? So that's called peeking the bubble. Boom, I see it's the 3 of diamonds, I'm done, okay? And I just make sure that that's on the offbeat, nobody's looking at me. Boom, 3, okay? Now that I've done this, right? Now that I've peeked, I could second if I wanted to, but here's one of the sneaky things. Let's say I'm not a good second dealer. I can do this. Cards are a little disheveled. I come in, I square the pack up a little bit, and I get ready to deal. I have a king right here. Okay, 3's now the second card. Same situation one more time. I'll do another king just to assume I want pocket kings, right? So I have this here, like this. I've peeked the bubble. I can see that I don't like that card. I come back up. Cards are disheveled. I come back up to give them a quick square. And there's my pocket kings. I'm not dealing seconds. What it is, I'll show you the face up. We'll do it to something impressive. So I'll give this guy a mate here. Let's give him the queen. It is 3 here. Don't want the 3. Deck's a little disheveled. Hands empty. Come back up, just like this. Square the pack up. Set the pack down. And you can see I now have that queen there, ready to go. So if I'm doing it face down, it's almost impossible to detect. Let's see if I can. We'll do another queen. We'll get rid of this king here. I'm holding the pack. This is the face up. This is the reveal. I have the 2 of spades here, like this. I want another queen. We'll do the queen of clubs here. So here, deck's disheveled. Come back up, square it, set it down. And it can be done with no major preparation. Set that card back down. Now I have pocket queens. So, very nice little thing. That's usually a magician's thing. It can be used for techniques, but you really don't want to be overt. It's got to be done on the offbeat. But you can see even face up, that's pretty deceptive. So, all right. Well, that's been a pretty good long shuffle sesh, I think is what we call session. But shuffle sesh was easier to fit in the title card, and so it's nice and easy to say. It kind of flows off the tongue. I want to say thank you for everybody who dropped in to say hi, everybody who dropped in and watched the session altogether. I hope everybody who enjoyed it understands that I will be teaching it if you want to learn it, and if not, I'm happy to perform. It's really very fun to do that. I won't be performing on this channel, likely. It'll be on the Mekanos Cards channel, because that'll be up and running. The stream version of that will be up and running fairly shortly. I think starting tomorrow and forward, so... but yeah, thank you for coming in, saying hi. Thank you for enjoying the stream and for having fun. And hopefully we'll get to see you guys a little bit later. But yeah, I really appreciate that. So I'm going to go ahead and move it over to the ending soon. I'm going to get some music.